disrespect your ass.
Yeah. Just woke up. I ain't gonna wake up.
Yeah. Remember, an educated public cannot be controlled. Learn to be active. The views and events expressed here are totally whack and are not necessarily the views of anyone. So, if a child ruled the world, let's do a thought experiment on it. Let's think about that. What if a child, what if children were ruling the world? What would it look like, right? So it's like, you know how when you're younger and sometimes you're emotional and you get angry quickly, you know, sometimes you hold your hand behind your back, like you know how the little kid, they hold something and they holding it behind their back, and then they think you can't see it, like, well, they know you can't see it, but they think that you don't know that they have it or whatever. It's like it's disappeared or something, um other things like that, like just being immature in your emotions and your thoughts, and also thinking that the way you think is right and your perception is the whole perception. you know what would that look like? What would it look like if the world was ran by children? uh the 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 point I'm trying to make on this is the world that I see
Looking at you.
today, that we live in. What's up? I
What's
feel
up, man?
like I feel like it's ran by children. I feel like this is what it would look like if it was. You know, what do you think
Yeah,
about that, Pat?
that's exactly what I was looking at. I was like, shoot, with the description you making, shoot, it looks like that now.
I was gonna meander my way around to it, but I just jumped into it because I lost my train of thought. But it's like, it's the idea of, you know, like I say, th- not being mature, totally not, being able to handle your emotions properly, not being able to problem solve, not even attempting to problem solve. You just like, you, you solve all your problems with a hammer, it's like bam, bam. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's total selfishness because, look, I'm gonna tell you, man. Like a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, like, okay, a lot of people wouldn't care if our politicians was making money, you know, with the investments that because they were, helping lining stuff up. But there's like millions of people who are suffering, and so they like the tax dollars that you playing around with or moves that wouldn't, we wouldn't normally make because you're trying to push whatever it is that you want to push. Then, like, I mean, and people are hurting because of your selfishness, bro. Like, that's like, man,
And not even caring, like, let's say you make a mess and like, you burning the house down, and not even caring that maybe you made it out and the rest of the people are in there, and it's like, oh well, it's like, what I guess what I'm trying to say is how we've made a mess, mess things up, and then don't want to admit to it, and don't want to atone for it, and don't want to even try to fix it.
yeah. And I would almost kind of put it like it's a burning building. There's like people on the 10th floor that's not that able to make it out. People just standing around and just looking like, oh wow, damn, the building's on fire. This is crazy. This is, and like who's ever, lost inside. I mean, it's just kind of like, oh well, you know, people are expendable.
It makes me sad. I think I'm gonna come back to that point. It's a lot to talk about, man.
Unless you control them psychologically. So in many ways,
Yeah. Just woke up.
we enable white supremacy. And if all the white people were to leave the planet today, white supremacy would still continue.